Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Thomas Spark. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about this interesting blog post iVPN published about VPNs and how to choose them and stuff like that. I find this blog post kind of problematic. I find the title misleading, and I find some of the information just kind of confusing. Some of the things in the article, of course, aren't really that problematic, but I feel like the title itself and just kind of like the general idea that the article gives is problematic in my opinion as well. We've seen YouTuber TechLore really like this article. He made almost a 15-minute video about it, which you can see here. He pretty much just goes in extensive detail over the article and reading it very slowly, very slowly, and just it seems kind of like a promotional piece for iVPN. He clearly likes iVPN, so he can do whatever he wants. However, that said, I did find a funny clip that kind of matches in a funny way with TechLore's takes on VPNs.
And I would love to look at more VPN providers, but if you think I'm going to rely on any documentation for any other VPN company, or if you think I'm going to actually manually test every VPN company on every operating system again, you're out of your freaking mind.
So this title of the article is called "Your VPN Provider Won't Go to Jail for You for $5." And immediately you start to question, what VPN are they referencing? Why this specific $5 amount? And there's really only one VPN on the market that goes for a $5 flat without any promo codes or anything like that. And of course, that's Mulvad VPN. Mulvad VPN is a VPN that costs around $5. It's $5.43 once you convert the euros to USD. And really, this is the only VPN that I could think of that costs this exact amount without any discount codes. It's $5 flat every month. There's really no other mechanic to that pricing system. So I can't help but wonder if iVPN is taking shots at Mulvad. And if not, I think they should probably rewrite the title of their article, because it seems like they are, and that's why I titled this video that. I think the main premise of it saying that your VPN provider won't go to jail for you for $5 is kind of a weird title, and even the beginning introduction kind of seems like they're kind of trying to examine that. This phrase in the title is a common trope that comes up when VPN services are discussed. I've never heard this phrase before. Now, in fact, I kind of wondered if I was just reading the room wrong, so I looked it up in Google. Of course, don't use Google, use a more privacy-friendly option, but just for the accuracy of this video, your VPN won't go to jail for you for $5. So I tried to see if anyone had mentioned this. Only thing that really comes up is TechLore, and he's the guy who covered this, made a video about this, iVPN's blog, and yeah, that is really it. I'm not really sure why this is a common phrase according to iVPN. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say this before. But I could be totally missing that. Let me know down in the comments down below if you hear this phrase all the time. And I've been reviewing VPNs for a long time. While the statement is technically correct, it can be misleading as it implies that all providers handle law enforcement requests and prepare for worst case scenarios similarly, so their conduct cannot be a differentiating factor when you evaluate them. Honestly, the kind of wording of this article is very confusing, but my main problem with the article title itself, it says it's kind of implying that if a VPN is more expensive, somehow it will kind of allow you more protection. That's kind of what I'm getting from the article. And when you look at iVPN's pricing policy, that kind of does line up. It's actually probably one of the, if not the most expensive VPN provider, at around $220 for 3 years, $160 for 2 years, and matching ExpressVPN's notorious $100 a year price point. Now, they used to actually be, I think, around $12 to $13 a month, and they've lowered it, probably because they realized their VPN is too expensive. Not only that, but they also upcharge for basic things like simultaneous devices and multi-hop functionality. They do have their standard plan, but it only allows 2 devices, and it limits you on your features, which is definitely not a good thing in my opinion. I never think you should really upcharge basic things with the VPN core package, at least if your VPN is your main product. So I do kind of have problems with that alone. But we could take a look at, iVPN, is it really better than Mulvad? It's twice the cost, month to month. For a year, Mulvad is $60. For 2 years, it's $120, and Mulvad is $180 for 3 years. So Mulvad is cheaper, but is iVPN better? Well, thankfully, we had the VPN tier list, the world's only objective rating system. I would actually say that their VPNs are very, very, very similar. Pretty much the applications are pretty much identical. The pricing is pretty much the biggest thing. Movad is just cheaper overall. They have around the same amount of servers, the same amount of speeds. The privacy audit is very similar. The customer support's very similar. Like I said, Movad is tiny bit better in streaming compatibility, but not by much. So now I'm wondering, what exactly is the reason to use iVPN over something like Movad? Does iVPN somehow give you more protection from the legal liability or something like that? I don't really think so. If you take a look at their blog post, they're saying choose the right jurisdiction. So what are you going to choose? Movad based in Sweden or iVPN based in Gibraltar? Well, Gibraltar does kind of have some connections to the UK. Movad is based in Sweden. There could be some argument for 14 eyes, but people don't really listen to that anymore. It's just marketing languages from VPNs trying to get you to use offshore location VPNs. So I don't really see a point there. Clear legal guidelines. Movad has clear legal guidelines. I don't understand what the issue is there with Movad. They had a raid on their headquarters and they didn't give away any logs or anything like that. Movad also has a anonymous account creation system. It doesn't really collect any information, has a good privacy policy, and is very transparent about requests. And it's half the price per month and cheaper long term. So yeah, I'm not sure where the value proposition comes for, being more expensive here. Is iVPN going to go to jail for you because they're a little more expensive? I don't really think so. And I think at some point in the article it does mention that. One other point I did have with this is that there seems to be some insinuation that more expensive VPNs offer you more legal protection, which is not true. And I doubt they're even really trying to make that point in this article. Honestly, if a VPN is more expensive, it just means they're trying to make more margin on you. It means they want to make a little bit more money. They want to pay their employees more or something like that, which is fine. Or they just want to pocket more of the money in their bank accounts, or they want to spend it on marketing. And that's what a lot of VPNs do. A lot of the more expensive VPNs just spend more money on marketing and stuff like that. But that's not to say you can't run a very affordable, reasonably priced VPN and still not collect logs. It doesn't really mean that at all. I don't think you should ever use a VPN to conduct any criminal activity. I think these articles themselves kind of make it confusing for customers to understand that. When VPNs are constantly telling you that, if you use our VPN in Switzerland, you're going to be safe. If you're using our VPN based here, you're going to be safe. We don't collect any payment information on you, any of this or that. So you could do whatever you want with our VPN. That's not really true. The VPNs won't even tell you that, but they kind of make it seem like that at the same time. And I think articles like that kind of contribute to that idea. But the funny thing is even VPNs like Movad and iVPN that hardly collect any information on you are now restricting features because people are misusing them and these VPNs don't want to get in trouble. And if you look at the reason why, well, apparently some people on Reddit are surmising that it could be due to illegal activity, such as what this person is saying. This account is deleted, which is kind of interesting, and so is this one. But that could be the reason. So yeah. These VPNs don't want to protect those people using their stuff either. So yeah. Another point I have with this article is that VPNs who kind of take shot at other VPNs, whether that be to kind of talk shit about them, kind of like how this article does, saying cheaper VPNs, aren't as good as us, basically, is what it's kind of insinuating. I think it kind of doesn't really make them look that good. I think often VPNs who are taking a shot at other VPNs, whether that be Windscribe, iVPN, or some other VPNs out there, generally it kind of reflects that, maybe they're hurting a little bit in terms of customers. Maybe they need more money. Maybe they lost customers. Maybe they're trying to make other VPNs look bad so they could look better. That's definitely a possibility. So at the end of the day, what do I recommend? Who do I recommend to use as a VPN that will prevent you from going to jail? Well, like I said, I don't think you should use a VPN for those purposes. And I think VPNs that advertise themselves in that kind of weird way are misleading you. VPNs at the end of the day are tools that you should use to protect your anonymity online, whether that be protecting your IP and encrypting your internet traffic from your internet service provider. Now, if you want to do stuff like torrent and hide your IP, that's totally up to you, but you always have to follow the local laws in your country, and I don't recommend piracy at all here on this channel. Only download Linux ISOs and public domain content, and that's all I have to say about that. Anyways, guys, thanks for checking out this video, and I'll see you again very soon.